What is up, my friends? It is Wednesday night, it is the late night agenda, and it is, of course, your latest Liverpool transfer news roundup. Before I get stuck into tonight's topics, don't forget that you can see us in Dublin for the first and only time this year at the Sugar Club, August the 4th. You can see the image on the screen there now. If you would like to come and join us, it is an over 18s gig, but you can find the link to get tickets in the description of this video. So, right, I'm going to move on now, and I'm going to get stuck into tonight's topic, which is how much money do Liverpool really have to spend in this window? So we've seen lots of things linking us to three midfielders, centre-backs, a few forwards as well. But what is actually realistic? So I do read the comments, although I might not reply to a lot of them these days because, well, look, if you want the real truth, if I reply to a comment, it usually means that I go down a rabbit hole and then I get angry at the comments that are being snidey and stuff like that. And I don't want to be that way. So don't think I don't read them. I do. And I did notice comments saying things like, you've no divine right to win the league every year. Definitely know that. I'm a Liverpool fan who's 41 years of age. And in my, I guess, childhood and adult life, I've seen us do it once. So I'm under no misconception that we've a divine right to do it. But what I do feel, and I think many of you guys probably feel, is that for a club with the stature of Liverpool Football Club, who have gotten to the mountaintop recently, we should be looking to at least stay there in that challenging position. But it doesn't look like our owners have the stomach for the fight. So let's get into it and see why not. So look, Neil Jones today has been speaking for Caught Offside, and he was speaking about Liverpool's interest in Gabri Veiga of Celta Vigo. And this is what he had to say. Liverpool may look at signing Gabri Veiga after Khephren Thuram, depending on how much money they have left, but the midfielder is not a priority. So look, I've no problem with him not being a priority. That's no problem. If we've got other targets that Klopp wants to bring in, fair enough. But the line, depending on how much money they have left, is the one that worries me. Because we've spent 35 million on Alexis McAllister. Nothing wrong with that, as I keep saying. Brilliant signing. Khephren Thuram, again, could be a very good piece of business. I'd prefer Barella, and I'll move on to talk about Barella in a while. But again, that's no problem. But two midfielders ain't going to do it. If you move Trent into midfield, fair enough, but then we have to have a conversation around right back. But what Neil Jones is saying here doesn't fill me full of confidence that Jurgen Klopp will have much more than maybe 100 million to spend in this window. Now, before people start typing on the keyboards and going, Craig, 100 million is a very significant amount of money. Of course it is. I'm aware of that. But just look what other teams are going to do. The teams that we're going to have to compete with. Again, today alone, Arsenal have had another bid turned down for Rice. They look like they're closing in on Kai Havertz for about 60. And then they're looking for Jurrien Timber. So that blows our business out of the water straight away. And we're the ones that need a huge rebuild, an overhaul of certain areas of the squad. And 100 million in this footballing world, in this landscape, it ain't going to do it. But look, let's move on. Let's speak about Khephren Thuram for a little bit. And lots of people have been speaking about 60 million for this kid over the past few months. I've always been here telling you that I believe it will be closer to £35 million if Liverpool sign the kid. And now it's finally starting to come out that yes, €40 million or about £35 million is the number that would potentially be expected from Nice for Khephren Thuram. Now, the question I keep getting asked is, how close is this? Is there an agreement in place with Liverpool and Nice? To the best of my knowledge, no, there is no agreement in place. But I think the player and Liverpool have only got eyes for each other. So I don't think we'll have to worry about another team coming in to pull the rug out from under us. And I think with his agent, Rafaela Pimenta, having been pictured at Nice recently, you'd imagine that some conversations have taken place. So I do think this is one that will definitely move on till after the Euros. I think that's been widely reported. And that makes some sense. You know, you don't want to sign a player, heaven forbid then they got injured at the Euros. So if you're confident enough in the price point and you're confident enough in the players wants to come and play for you, I've no problem with them waiting until after the Euros. So it looks like €40 million will be the number, and it does look more and more likely that Khephren Thuram will be a Liverpool player by the end of this window. Now, a little bit of a blast from the past here. Amrabat to Liverpool is a fresh transfer claim coming out of Italy, and they say that €35 million would be the number that will get him out of Fiorentina. And this kind of contradicts what we've seen in the past, because everything that I've read since our initial links to Sofian Amrabat was that he wants to move to Spain or perhaps to a warmer climate than the Premier League. So I don't know if this is absolute nonsense. I don't know if there's any truth to it. I don't know if Liverpool have moved on from Sofian Amrabat, but again, it's an understandable link, an understandable price point for us of 35 million. But let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see if he goes elsewhere or if this is just More paper talk. So now I'm getting to the good stuff. Don't worry, I wasn't just hitting you with negativity all the way. So there has been a report coming out of Italy today that says that Liverpool would be willing to offer £77 million to bring Nicolo Barella to Anfield. Now I've got serious doubts about Liverpool being willing to pony up that much money, but I hope it's true. I'd love it to be true. And we've scouted the player extensively over the past few years. He's somebody that other clubs are interested in. We know Chelsea have an interest in him. Newcastle look like they've ended their interest because they're very close to signing, what's the dude's name from AC Milan? Sandro Tonali for about €70 million. Fabrizio Romano's been posting on that today. That deal looks like it's inching closer. So that probably pushes away their interest in Barella. So it's either going to be us, Chelsea, or staying at Inter. And I hope that it is us. But with the Khephren Thuram stuff becoming more and more clear, I have my doubts. I really do, but I'd love him. I think everybody I've spoken to really does love the idea of Barella. There are a couple of people that believe he's overhyped, and I understand that, but I respectfully disagree. I do hope Liverpool are really interested, and I do hope the money is there, but again, have my doubts. So the final bit on this, and another one on Barella, comes from Gazzetta Italia. They say Liverpool are the most interested side in England for Nicolo Barella. His agent has travelled to the UK many times, has many offers for the Italian. Klopp's side is ahead of the line for Barella and want him as part of the midfield revamp. That would make me so happy. I think we need 3 midfielders. But if Barella, McAllister come in, I'm willing to settle for 2. That would give you Barellister. That would give you Barellister. And that's what we're doing. We're going with that now. It was a bit of a stutter, but we're going with Barellister. So you'd have Barellister, you'd have Trent, you'd have Fabinho, you'd have Curtis Jones, you'd have Harvey Elliott, you'd have Jordan Henderson, you'd have a couple more of the youngsters in there as well. Thiago Alcantara, and let's see what happens. Now, one thing I do want to say is, I don't want us to sign Ryan Gravenberch. I'm not basing this solely off his game today for the Netherlands, but I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of the kid. Now, Van de Ven, I did watch today as well, playing for the Netherlands under-21s in their 0-0 draw with Belgium, and he impressed me. He did. So I get it. I get this kid's link to Liverpool, finally, because I hadn't seen much of him play. I'd only seen a few highlights that I'd seen on YouTube, but I get it. And at €35 million, about £30 million, I think Van de Ven could be a very good piece of business for Liverpool Football Club if indeed we follow through with the interest and make that offer to Wolfsburg. But again, this will be another transfer that you won't see anything happening in until after the Euro under-21s, which did start today, as I mentioned. So that pretty much brings us to a close today, my friends. Just a reminder again about the live show. August the 4th, bank holiday weekend in Dublin at the beautiful Sugar Club. If you want to come and join us, it's going to be a fun-filled evening, and hope you can come along. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you like these links to Barella? Do you believe these links to Barella? Do you think that I'm just being ungrateful to FSG? Or are you like me and thinking with the football landscape how it is, Liverpool need to get their finger out and Liverpool need to actually start acting like a club that wants to win things? Our manager, I'm sure he wants to win it. The players, absolutely. The owners, I have my doubts. Over to you. Talk to you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.